Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to my dear audience. I would like to thank you for being here to watch the pre-recorded Virtual Speakers Corner for episode number 14. I'm Khairul Najmi, hosting today's event. With me is someone very special from abroad, as he likes to involve in sports, but above all, his drive is processing coffee. His name is Muhammad Syahravi Hamid from Medan, Indonesia. First year student from Bachelor of Science in Agribusiness with honors. Let's hear from our first international student in for this event. Without further ado, I'll be passing the floor to him.
Okay, thank you, Najmi, for allowing me to give me a time for presenting this time. So, my name is Raffi, and I'm from Indonesia. Today, I'm going to talk about coffee, specialty coffee to be exact. So, in this my slide, the first slide is a simple story about coffee from the seed to cup. So, coffee is a seed. So we have a plantation. In my business, I have a plantation for Arabica coffee, not Robusta coffee. So for specialty coffee, every detail, every process, we need to give a specialty touch, such as in the seeding, we need to make a specialty seeding, and the harvest, we just pick a red cherry, a best cherry from every tree, and then we process it. It is pulping, and in the processing have a two process is wash and dry, and then we roasting. After we roasting, we packing it for distribution to the our customer, and then we grinding for change the roasted bean to be a grind coffee, and then we brew it. In the brew, we have two types. First of all, it is manual brew, and the second one it is espresso. I believe you know about that. And then we serve it. Okay, so it is just intermezzo. It is a story about coffee. Okay, if you know, coffee, the first time coffee is from Ethiopia. It is in the 9th century. So the man is Khalid. He is a Muslim in Ethiopia. He's what is the name? In Bahasa we call it pengembala. He's pengembala kambing. So the story is when he is go to the go with his lamb, and then in the new land, so he stopped at the new tree, not too big tree, but he just look at tree, so he stay on the tree, and then the lamb eat the cherry, but he doesn't know what is the cherry, what is the type of cherry. So the lamb is just eat the cherry, and then he's and then sorry he is surprised with the lamb. Why his lamb is can't sleep, why his lamb is have more energy. And then he looked the cherry. After that, he processed the cherry, just simple process, such as he moved from the cherry to the seed, to the green beans coffee, and then he roasting with a fire like that. After that, he ground it, and then he drink it. In the ninth time, he's surprised again because he can't sleep. He can't feel sleepy, and finally, it's really really amazing about this drink because this drink can give a big energy. So that's why the people right now, if they if they work in the nighttime, he needs a coffee for cover her sleepy. Okay, that's a story about coffee. Okay, this is the fact about coffee. So I just talk about Arabica coffee because I don't know too much about Robusta coffee. So it is a country with a top 10 coffee producer. So in the first is Brazil, and the second Vietnam, and then Colombia, and the fourth is my country, Indonesia. So in Indonesia, we process about 10,000 10,000 ton every year. So it is a fact for world coffee consumption per capita. Actually, in my country, it's really low consumption coffee per capita. So we can see the biggest is Finlandia. In Finlandia, every person in every years drink about 8 kilograms coffee per year. But in Indonesia, in Malaysia, it's still maybe around 50 grams coffee every year. Yeah, so it's a low data. It's a low consumption. Okay, the world map of coffee export. So it is a, a map for who is processing coffee, who is a produ- producer coffee country. So the biggest ones, like I mentioned it before, is Brazil, and then Vietnam, and then Colombia. After that, Indonesian. Okay, this slide is my highlight. What is specialty coffee? Okay, so coffee that you drink every day, maybe in the coffee shop. Yeah, I believe you don't know it is specialty coffee or not. Or if you buy from the supermarket such as Nescafe, it is specialty coffee or not. Maybe you can say it's specialty coffee because it's the taste is good, but the fact if you don't know, if you buy coffee from the supermarket such as Nescafe, I said before, it is not specialty coffee. And the worst fact, it is not 100 coffee. So I give a fact for you. For the commercial coffee, for the coffee that you buy on the supermarket, on the mall, it is a lowest coffee quality, and the factory add more ingredients such as rice, such as uh, corn maybe. So after that, after the factory or producer add the worst coffee and the more ingredients such as rice and the corn, and then they burn it, they roast it. Okay, they made all of the color is same, it is black. After that, they ground it. Okay, who is know it is a coffee or not if the shape is ground coffee, is a bubuk coffee. After that, they add the sugar, that a creamer for make the taste is amazing. So that's a fact. That's a coffee every day you drink. It is not healthy coffee. It is a bad quality coffee. So that's why many people have a because coffee have a what is the name? maybe the Indonesian we call it sakit lambung because asam lambung because of coffee. So yeah, that's the fact, which is coffee that you drink every day. So in this time, I will give you the information about specialty coffee. So specialty coffee, yeah, this is specialty coffee from the seeding, harvest, post-harvest, roasting, and brewing. I mentioned it before at the second slide maybe. So it is a, a source of the specialty coffee. It is a farm, it is a plantation of coffee. So like I said before, for the specialty coffee, the standard, we need to pick a red cherry. Okay, from the seed until pick a cherry. So in the specialty coffee, we just use the red cherry, not the black. It is a bad coffee, like we call it coffee overcooked, maybe coffee busuk in my country we call it. And then it is a green coffee. It is a coffee yang belum masak. It is coffee yang belum masak. So in the parchment is coffee, but the beans has the cherry, the what's the name, the skin has moved, the skin has left, so it is still just parchment. I don't know to present about parchment, but yeah, but it's the second step about coffee. So in the specialty coffee, we just use the good parchment. Is if the it is like a defect, it is a defect of parchment in the red in the red line, it is a bad quality. So in the harvest specialty coffee, just use a red cherry. For the commercial coffee, they use a bad cherry. So in the specialty coffee, after we harvest the coffee, and then we put the water, we put much water from to the oh, what is the name, to the, ember, maybe. Ember is a place to is a place for saving water. We call it ember, and then we put it we put the water with a coffee, with a cherry, and the coffee is, if the coffee in the right side, in the, what is the name, we call it coffee yang tenggelam. Coffee yang tenggelam, it is a good coffee, and coffee yang mengambang, it is bad coffee. And then we take a bad coffee, and we move to the another another place, another ember. And so the coffee yang tenggelam tadi, we process it in the one time, and the bad coffee, we process it too, but it is for commercial coffee. Okay, so we move it. Okay, it is a harvest in my plantation. Okay, so it is an example for the specialty coffee red cherry pig. Okay, for specialty coffee, after we use uh, a best cherry, and after we process, we sorted the green bean. What's the function of sorted the green bean? The function is to, what's the name? to make sure our coffee is perfect, is without defect. Defect is something that annoy the taste of coffee. So we need to make sure in the every cup of coffee it is not have the defect. Okay, so it is a cherry. So like yellow one and the orange one, it is not bad coffee, but it is a different varietal. So the coffee is many varietal. So I don't know all of the varietal of coffee, but yeah, it's too much. Maybe around 30 varietals of coffee. So, but the like the green one is a bad coffee because it's not to cook clearly. Okay, in the coffee, any two types. First of all, it is singular beans, and the second one it is double beans, and then triangular beans. The most coffee in the world is double beans. Just the every cherry has two beans. Okay, in the processing method, like I said before, again, it is a dry and wet. What is a dry and what is a wet? In the dry process, we just have to process. It is natural and honey. Actually, the uh, why we call dry process, because in this process we don't use a water for fermentation, for wash it. We don't use water. We maybe in the first time we use water for sortir the coffee, for sortir the cherry. Like I said before, we we put the water to the ember, and then we look the coffee yang tenggelam and we use it. Just just like that. If we process dry process with water, and the wet process we have semi wash and full wash. The difference is semi wash is the we just wash the coffee just once, and then in the full wash we wash coffee 2 or 4 times. It is a dry process for natural. So we picking the coffee, and yeah, the name is floating. I'm sorry, I forget about that. The the name is floating, and then we drying. Just simple things. And the honey we picking, we floating too, and then we pulping. Pulping is for 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 make the parchment. It is used a pulping. So it is the simplest process in the coffee, but the price is the highest. Why? What is the reason why the dry process it is a simplest process, but why is the price is highest? Yeah, because if we process natural in the greenhouse, we need a time until 1 month. In the wet process, we just need a maximum 2 weeks. So the difference is about the time. Okay, the wet process, the difference is after we popping, we wash it. Well, what is the function of the wash? It is for remove the oil, the munchlaga of the coffee. So in the wet process, our goal is to find the clean taste. So that's why we process wet process. In the full wash, the difference just in the washing. In the semi wash, we just washing one time, and in the full wash, we can wash it two until four times. Okay, Arabica versus Robusta. So usually, how to we make sure it is Arabica or it is Robusta? We can we can look from the shape of beans. In the Robusta is more round and Arabica is more oval, and the altitude it is a really difference. The minimum altitude for Arabica it is 1,000 meter above sea level, and the altitude from Robusta is below 1,000 AMSL. Yeah, maybe we next from the defect. What is defect? Defect is a is a beans which will which will make our coffee is bad. So that's why sortir is make sure we remove all of defect. So actually, if we talk about coffee, delicious coffee or not, we can say we can say the coffee is delicious because we don't have a standard about how delicious coffee, but we can make a standard with a defect. So the coffee with high quality is, of course, the defect is really low, and the coffee is bad quality. Of course, it is the price is really low. Okay, it is a classification about defect. Okay, in the specialty coffee, the organization who has a standard of specialty coffee is SCA. SCA is Specialty Coffee Association. It is in America, so they are give the standard of the specialty coffee in the world, such as how many minimum score of the coffee, how many minimum score of the defect. So in the specialty coffee, the minimum score of the taste, of the defect, and overall, it must be the minimum. Yeah, the minimum is 80. So if we have if we have a coffee without defect, so we test the cup about coffee with cupping. Cupping is a method to give a score about coffee. We use cupping. Cupping test is just we ground the coffee, we ground the roast bean, and then we pouring, and then we try we try the coffee for yeah for know the how much our score. Okay, back to the my topic. If we bring our coffee without defect, with zero defect to the STA, and then they test it, but our score overall is below 80, it means our coffee is not specialty. So why? Yeah, it it comes from farm. Maybe the process is not too good, so the taste is not too good. Okay, so in the specialty coffee, it is the storage is a crucial component. So in this topic, it is a final it is a final step of the processing. It is a storage. So every processing must be have a storage to save the coffee. So in the storage, the standard is the coffee is can be what's the name? How do we call it? So we need Okay, we need to protect the beans from the sun, from the rain, and the what's the name? And we call it room temperature. Okay, so in the room temperature is must be around 20 until 35 derajat Celsius. Okay, so it is just for storage. Okay, so it is our activity in the plantation. It is a coffee camp. Maybe I will end my presentation in the coffee camp. So thank you for Speaking Corner for allowing me to be a speaker today. And then yeah, maybe we can we can talk about coffee in the next time. Thank you.
Thank you, dear brother Ravi, for his story behind the coffee processing industry. Who knew there is so much to tell, so much to hear from just a small bean of coffee. I think that is all for today's episode, and we will be seeing for another episode of Virtual Speakers Corner uh, by Permatani UPM. That is all. Thank you for watching, and bye.